Hello everybody and welcome to Whiskey Daddy Review number 3. This is the second part of our mini-series on E.H. Taylor Jr. by, mind you, brand of whiskeys. Alright, today we're going to be trying out the Straight Rye Whiskey. I have my friend with me, Jacob John, my distinguished partner here.
Back again.
Who's going to be helping me out. An extra nose in the equation here always helps out, guys. So we explored the small batch first, and if you want an explanation behind what bottled and bond means, which is what each one of these bottles has on it, go back to Whiskey Daddy Review number 2, and I give you a pretty good explanation of what that is. Today we're going to be moving forward into the Straight Rye. A Straight Rye, by classification, has to have at least 51% rye in the mash bill. The rest of it, of course, can be corn, it can be barley, it can be wheat, and this one is going to be corn and barley going to finish out the mash bill, but at least 51% rye. And I can tell you right now, we haven't given our final notes yet, but this is probably my forerunner, is the one I like the most out of this whole equation. We've let these glasses open up now for about 5 minutes or so. We've added a bit more water to these than we did to the small batch. I probably put in my little dropper here, water and dropper. Probably put at least a full ml of water into a 1 ounce pour in our Glencairn glasses here. So this particular whiskey needs a little bit of water to settle it down, to take some of the edge and the nip off of it. You know, so. All right, you ready to nose this one?
Let's do it. Let's try it.
Get into it. I'll tell you one thing. This is one thing I always get with ryes, and I get with the E.H. Taylor. You know, I take that back. Most of the good ryes that I have, I get a very distinct pickle note in it. A dill pickle note that's surrounded by brown sugar.
I can see that. Yeah, I wouldn't even have guessed that.
Right, yeah.
You know, a lot of times when I sit on whiskey, it's hard to describe what you're smelling and what you are sipping. But yeah, the dill pickle, when you say that, I can totally get that. Absolutely.
It's a great thing, guys. If you have a whiskey you're struggling with, and you're kind of like, well, you know, like maybe you watch a review video and you see all these notes about it, you see all these flavors, and you're like, I don't get any of this. And so then you get somebody else to come over, taste it with you, and they give you a good explanation behind it, or a different explanation. And all of a sudden now you can smell things you didn't realize you smelled.
You know, I definitely get the citrus out of it. I can
definitely
get that.
A bright citrus note.
The dill pickle, now that you mention it, is prevalent. I can definitely smell that. I can smell the sugar in it as well.
Yeah.
The brown sugar.
Lots of brown. It's a dill pickle surrounded by brown sugar. There's a bit of savoriness to it, and this is with a lot of rye whiskeys. I get a sugar-cured ham. A sugar-cured ham. It's a savory note that I get with it.
Well, it's not Thanksgiving for me, but I can definitely get the sugar. I definitely get the dill out of it. The citrus, the tangerine. I'm getting it. You know, when you start with the nose of it, I can tell that when I sip this, I can get the spice.
Right,
you know,
yeah,
right off the bat.
Lots of spices in there, tons of spices. Talking about cinnamon, nutmeg, and even some peppercorn in there. All right, on the palate, slunge.
Let's try it. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious.
First thing I get up front, sweet tea.
Yep.
Overbrewed, strong sweet tea. And then that's in the arrival. It's the very first thing we get.
The spice, the heat that comes off your tongue is definitely evident. Get the sweet tea. Definitely do that. Get the sweetness. And then you do get that bite, but you get that bite, it's not an overpowering bite, but it's that bite that you expect from a fine rye whiskey.
Oh yeah, I mean, a good rye whiskey, you're going to have a kick from this. It's going to be this cinnamon burst in there. And this one definitely has, it arrives with that beautiful sweet tea in the arrival, and then the development, you slowly start to get some of those pickle notes in there. the brown sugar actually kind of rises up into the event, and then in the finish you get this just overlay of just cinnamon, wood spice, all that, not overly tannic.
And it's a long lasting
much longer than the small batch.
Absolutely. Like I'm still getting the notes
right
on my taste buds with the dill, with the sugar, with the citrus, I'm not getting too much of a nutty taste
at all. I'm not getting the banana
that you did with the other one,
right,
but
I'm not getting the salted peanut. I'm not getting the banana like I did with the small batch.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more on the spicier, savory side of things. You know, not that a salted peanut's not savory.
But this is a great after dinner whiskey. That's both sweet, savory. Something that's going to change the content of your palate after you've had something to eat. I mean, actually, I would actually prefer this after a good cigar or during a cigar than I would the previous one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to say this wouldn't go great with a cigar.
Well, that's fine. I like a more darker Maduro cigar.
Right.
And
so
this would accompany that.
Will kind of blend together. And
this would accompany that
help you out some. Excellent. Okay, so on this one, much more of a briny, sugary arrival that really gets into this cinnamon, spicy, long, drawn-out finish with a little bit of wood tannin. I'm still getting on the end. Good fresh wood tannin, though, not bitter. Not
that oak is definitely in there.
Oh yeah, and it's overlaid. This is a very, very good rye whiskey. Where would you rate this on your scale? I know you gave the small batch between the
but this is more my style. I like to
he likes flavor.
When I drink, I like the complexities. I like to think when I'm drinking. I like to I like the entire experience out of drinking a whiskey. And I'm just a novice, so this one would be at a 90 for me. This would definitely be up there. I would definitely drink this again. I'll actually buy this bottle. So what does a bottle like this cost?
This one's going to be more of the expensive range for all of them. This is going to be between $70 to $80. This would be the most expensive one of the range.
I would expect that. This is a good bottle. This is a high-end bottle to have in your collection. Something that I will be buying, definitely, even more than the previous bottles that we've tasted. This is definitely complex. This will definitely throw your palate through an experience. It's definitely approved by Jacob, so this is something that I'll be drinking.
And I tell you what, now that it's opened up some, I'm starting to get this like a golden hay note in the palate that occasionally I get with scotches from the Highland region. You get this golden hay barley note mixed in there with it. And I'm getting that, and occasionally with a really, really good rye whiskey, guys, you will get an Islay Scotch whiskey. You'll get that little bit of iodine, sea salt, seashore kind of a note in there. I really get it with the Willet Rye, which we will be reviewing a couple of reviews from now. My absolute favorite rye whiskey. I can't wait, and I might even bring Jacob back for that one because he's going to love it.
Hey, give me the invitation, buddy, and I'll be here.
You just got it. You just got
wonderful.
it.
We'll see you then.
All right, but anyway, surprise review again, as we always do at the end. We're bringing out another surprise review. I'm going to go grab it right now. Be right back. And Jacob has no idea what this one is.
Surprise me.
Oh, you're going to be overly surprised.
Listen, like JT was saying, all these brands, the E.H. Taylor Jr., very inexpensive. Like I said before on the earlier post, I am one to spend a lot of money on some very popular brands, and he's kind of opened up my eyes and my buying habits to great whiskeys that don't cost the $300-400 price tags. Wow, what is this?
Well, as you can tell, it's another beer that we brought it in. Whiskey review number 2. We did the Siberian Night. This time we're doing a Dogfish Head Raisin Dextra. All right, this is an ale that is brewed, as you can get it, with raisins. Okay, beautiful bottle. Generally available towards the fall months and all. It's kind of like one of their limited releases, although they didn't release this for 4 years. They finally brought it back last year. I guarantee if you go to some of your upper end craft beer shops, you will find this beer because it is extortionately expensive. It's about $19 a bottle for this stuff.
Wow.
Okay, 19 in my area. We're in the southeast. I actually bought this because I used to work for a company where we did a lot of craft beer up in the northern part of South Carolina. So that's up around Spartanburg, Clemson, those kind of areas. They have a lot of craft beer joints up there, and this is one of their most highly rated beers. I have never tasted it. I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, this bulbous brown ale was brewed with boatloads of big old raisins, lush and enjoyable. This ale ages with the best of them, and I have been aging this now for 1 year in my fridge. Jacob, cheers, sir.
Cheers, my friend. Let's